Hi people, welcome to the Dance Lab. This is me working on my project called Rock, and basically giving people an insight what's happening. Advanced dance leaders have been asked to create programs to share their dance skills, generic and specialist dance skills. Why? Because dance skills are seen as the most valuable in the 21st century. That's what's happening, the way we go about doing what we're doing. So what's happened, some of the skills: performance skills, generic and specialist, pitching skills, presentation skills, demonstration, social etiquette skills, dress to impress skills, demonstration, people skills, coaching, mentoring skills, advocating, championing, ambassador skills, planning and organizing skills, self-leadership, self-management. Because one of the key things that's going to come up is you're going to have to do solo work, you're going to have to do partnership work and group work, working together with individuals. Do you understand? And what happens is you have to look the part, you have to look right. And this is a picture of me which I created for that project. And furthermore, this is me on the stage. So this is what happened. This was a photograph that actually say a project that I was involved in that actually saved my career, because what happened was my archive was lost through a house fire, and basically I didn't have any evidence of my advanced leadership. But this was done around just before it, but I didn't have that archive. An organization had that archive called Contact, and an organization in New York had the archive, so I could go there and it had digital information. This is me on the front of the cover. That was most important. That's had 10,000 words. Then there's video footage. You know, video is very important. I got video footage from New York and Manchester. How I look is very important. Vintage. I wore the clothes deliberately because I was promoting myself as Blue K Jazz Dance. This is the vintage me. I wanted to share with people. I've very much been a vintage trailblazer, model, etc., projects, etc. I've done a lot of things. And this is my wall, this is my mood board where I put ideas down. I'm talking, writing about being virtuoso as an artist. One of the key things was in my dance skill development really advanced, because I was a person who was trained to be a virtuoso artist. It means pushing the boundaries of one's learning, thinking, development. I got the philosophy from bebop, cool and modern, and that's how I live my life as an artist. So I was up and down the country, going to the best events where basically they were collaborative events, where it was competitive, pushing the boundaries of what you're doing. Basically looking, I was a bohemian artist, dancer, looking for events where it offered me the greatest opportunity to improvise and students explore, which is devise and create their own ways as individuals. Now, one of the key things I've got here is, look, it's like a portfolio. What happens as an artist who went through an episode, I was violently bullied at school. I then got rehabilitation counselling, got sent to the Caribbean, rehabilitation intervention, went to the Caribbean. When I came back, I used to archive part of my self-boosting of my confidence. I was told to archive my acts of achievements, my acts of leadership, etc. So I used to document everything in a file, videos, photographs, anything that showed my achievement I used, and I used it to get jobs, like holiday jobs, internships, placements with various organizations. And it was nice because what it is, it showed a rounded perspective. Most people didn't promote a rounded perspective themselves, and it taught me. I started to do it from 8, so my ability to self-promote myself I had from 8, because it's a one-man show, and that one boy show was successful, and I got asked to do it in different places. For example, the RAF cadets, the Army cadets, the Cubs, the Guides, all these charitable organizations I did work for as part of charitable work, raise money for cancer, raise money for, for people to fly out to go to different places like Lords, etc. They were the type of things that I used dance for. Do you know what I'm saying? As an individual, I wanted to be my own flying solo entertainer, basic cabaret, like Sammy Davis Jr., as a hobby outside being an RAF officer pilot. People got that as important. So I always wanted to do dance at a high level, and that's one of the things I had in sense of my aspirations. Many people didn't have that aspiration. I had the aspiration from early learning, but after seeing musicals, this is what I want to do as an individual. Then what happened, I developed that, and then at the same time, 3 years later, I developed our own cultural dance, which is UK jazz dance. I never thought about bringing it on stage. I performed, used it in dance halls to do performance platform, but I never thought about creating a show from it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I had this other style that I was doing. But then later on, what happened was my art form, my street art form, or my culture art form was dissed. And I saw that was unacceptable, so I started to develop shows from that as an individual, and then became a live improvisational performer of UK jazz dance, which is an umbrella term for a number of UK undergraduate styles, lifestyles, cultures and movements. I became an advocate of promoting that and identifying, most importantly, it gave me a whole host of skills over 4 decades. And I've listed these skills. These are not comprehensive, but like I said, what's happening now at the moment, advanced dancers have been asked to share with emerging, established and advanced dancers their journey, because my journey was a creative, unconventional one. I expected to be a dancer as part-time, but never expected to be a professional dancer. I expected to be an RAF officer, aeronautic engineer before that, mechanical engineer before that, ambassador, a barrister before that, a lawyer before that. I never thought in my life, growing up with my parents, oh, I'm going to be a dancer. I knew that I'm going to do dance as a hobby. That's what I'm going to do to relax. And in the irony, that is what I'm doing at this moment now. The long-term developments have been that. Started in COVID, just before COVID, I started to do health events, international days, dance for Dyslexic Week, dance for Sepsis Awareness Week, all that type of thing, because I've always been involved in dance for natural health and wellness, and that's what I use it for. And I brought myself back from sepsis. And what happened, this picture here is important because you won't know I'm suffering from sepsis here. An amazing story, but dance really helped me survive sepsis, believe me. As an individual, I was very lucky as an individual, and I had sepsis here. But what happened, a beautiful thing, I've been dancing so many years and doing Latin, this mixed movement was live improvisational performance. If I had to do a routine or show, say a show that would be have to go to rehearsals, I would never be able to be involved. But mixed movement was around live improvisational performance. You go into a stage and you doing solo work, then you work in a duo, and then you work in a group, all live improvisational performance. I was really blessed to be able to be involved in this movement. This movement was brought here by United States. It reflected UK jazz dance background, is all live improvisational performance, but this was in the theatre, taking it to its next level. UK Jazz Dance out.